Dave Pagnotta joining us. Dave, tell me a little bit about, first of all, this Kopitar signing and what you think it means to the LA Kings.
Oh, this was huge, and you guys touched on it. The fact that you've got now Kopitar, Dubois, and Deneau locked up in the middle, 1, 2, 3, for not only this coming season, but 2 more beyond that is key for the LA Kings. This deal includes a full no-movement clause throughout the duration of his deal. That actually takes effect now. So he's got the full no-move. He's locked in, ready to go. You get him at a lesser AAV than he's making this coming season. $7 million seems certainly fair after going home with some hardware at the NHL Awards. But it stabilizes their center position, and it allows the LA Kings to not only continue to compete, but also have Kopitar there to kind of move things along with Dubois and even Quinton Byfield, who likely start this season on the wing, but eventually mold him back into that center position. So you're going to want to have that type of veteran presence there for the next few seasons to help mold him along as a true and potentially elite NHL center. This was a great move for the LA Kings to not only get this done, but to get it out of the way pretty early in the offseason. And
as we said earlier, a pretty nice wedding anniversary present as well.
Yeah.
What did you get him today? Did you get him anything?
I sent him a congratulatory text. him and the wife, just congrats, guys, you did it. This probably means a little more.
Yeah, I would say as well. If you're looking for an anniversary present for me, $7 million would be just fine as well. Pans, one of the biggest names still currently available is Alex DeBrincat. Where do you think he's going to play next season?
Yeah, well, the Ottawa Senators are working hard at trying to make this happen. And there are a bunch of reports that his contractual status and those talks with some of these teams that are available are kind of hindering this process. I can tell you, looking into this, that's not really the case. The Ottawa Senators have had at least 2 legitimate trade offers on the table. And depending on how things kind of continue to evolve, those contract negotiations with those clubs, which Jeff Jackson, his agent, has permission to have, those are going to continue to progress. And there is a pathway to an extension, to a new contract. He's a restricted free agent. There is a pathway to a contract with a new club. They're just waiting to see what all the options are available to them before DeBrincat and his camp make any type of commitments. But it certainly sounds like things are moving forward and progressing in the right direction. I mean, look, we could see something happen tonight, tomorrow, over the course of the weekend, or even into next week. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but what I do know is, without a doubt, things are inching towards finality here. And both the Senators and DeBrincat's cap certainly want to make that happen. Detroit still very much in the mix. The Islanders have been part of this, but there have been some back and forth as to whether or not they're still there. But the Red Wings, among at least one other team, very much in the race trying to make DeBrincat happen.
Of course, Alex DeBrincat, a Michigan native, maybe a little incentive to go home there as well. One of the busiest teams this offseason has been the Carolina Hurricanes. So what might we see out of them in terms of next moves, Pans?
Well, I mean, look, all the stuff with Vladimir Tarasenko and all the belief that he was going to end up there, I can tell you, the Hurricanes certainly thought that was going to happen. They had a press release ready to roll, and it kind of fell through, and he changed agents. Carolina will still be in the mix and try to make that happen. But beyond what happens with Tarasenko, they are still very much active on the trade front. Erik Karlsson is a guy that they're still very much engaged in and would love to make this happen, but they have to move out some money, not just have San Jose retain salary. One of the players they have been in discussions with since just before the draft has been Brett Pesce. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He has a 15-team trade list as part of his deal. This is a team that's going to add Tony DeAngelo on July 8th. Once that trade is official, he will be part of that mix officially in Carolina. And after that, I mean, they're stacked on the back end. They made the big Dmitry Orlov signing. They brought in Michael Bunting, as you see there up front. But they want to continue to augment their defense. If they can move Brett Pesce out, and there's a lot of discussions with the Nashville Predators over that possibility, and this may not necessarily be a 3-way type deal, but the discussions that are out there right now, if they can move Pesce to Nashville, and that deal would likely include a first-round pick, Carolina can then utilize those assets along with their own package to try to make something work for Erik Karlsson in San Jose. He's willing to go there. He's ready to sign off his no-movement clause to go to Raleigh. Pittsburgh is also in that mix, but he's kind of just sitting back waiting. And if the Hurricanes can pull this off, it would take, as I mentioned, some retention from the San Jose Sharks, anywhere from $3 to $4 million. But these talks are very much continuing and remain ongoing. It's something to certainly keep tabs on.
And how about the Maple Leafs? They've already made a number of moves to try to tweak their roster. But what do you think the latest is on Austin Matthews and William Nylander's contracts?
Yeah, well, look. First of all, with that roster, they still need to make some moves. Now, they've got to free up some cap space in order to make everybody fit. Now, luckily, these two guys here, Austin Matthews and William Nylander, they're under contract for this coming season. After that, they need them. I can tell you one thing. Talking to a bunch of people around this situation, first of all, William Nylander's not close to an extension. He's looking for upwards of $10 million a season on a full 8-year term. And the Leafs are sitting around that $8.5 million mark. They've got some work to do to kind of bridge that gap. The other thing I can tell you, I would be surprised, if Austin Matthews puts pen to paper before Nylander does, at least for the time being. It's going to be a 3, 4, or 5-year contract for Austin Matthews in Toronto. He is not going to exceed 5 years. That pretty much is locked in anywhere from $13 to just over $14 million on an AAV, depending on what year comes with him. But I would be very surprised if he locks in before William Nylander. It sounds like the Leafs are trying to focus on Nylander to get him done. At the same time, they want to free up additional cap space to make all of their little pieces fit. Are they going to buy out Matt Murray? TJ Brody's name is out there. They have some options. But with respect to these two guys, there's some work to be done. Expect Nylander to get going before Matthews' camp locks into a deal.
All right, Dave Pagnotta, we always appreciate your time and your insight. Thank you so much. Wherever you are, it looks fun. So go have a beverage and relax for the rest of the night.
Back in Toronto, maybe I'll see these guys walking around.
You very well could. Buy them a drink.